One of my subscribers told me a few days ago, maybe a week ago, that the UEFA Nations League, specifically League D, has quite a quirk to it because apparently the plan is to have the four winners from League D of the UEFA Nations League to play each other through a series of playoffs where the winner actually gets a spot in Euro 2020. If you don't know the UEFA Nations League or how it's structured from leagues A, B, C, and D, go watch some videos on YouTube that explain it, or maybe my video on it a few months ago. But in this video, I want to talk about the worst of the worst within Europe, the minnows, so to speak, or the borderline minnows, the very worst teams according to the UEFA ranking coefficient as well as the FIFA rankings of the worst national sides in Europe. And I find this idea to be interesting that one of these teams you see pictured here is guaranteed to qualify for Euro 2020. And I'm not sure how I feel about that. I'm not sure I agree with it. I can kind of see an argument why that's a good idea because it'll increase competitiveness. And these nations here will really be fighting for a spot in what will most likely be their first ever international tournament. The only one here that you see pictured that has actually participated in a major men's senior international tournament is right here, Latvia, way back Euro 2004. But everyone else here has never been a part of a major men's senior international tournament. So, on the other hand, I also think that if you're going to have one of the worst teams in Europe make it, wouldn't you then be diluting the quality of the tournament? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I'm kind of up in the air on this one. I'm not sure how I feel, like I said. But in this video, I want to predict who's going to be that lucky team. Who's going to be the lucky one that gets a spot in Euro 2020, most likely as the worst team heading into that tournament. So the way this works is for UEFA Nations League D, the same way as A, B, and C, all the teams in each group here play each other twice, both home and away for a total of 6 games per group. The group winner goes to the series of semifinals where they play each other third place game final to determine who gets a spot in Euro 2020. Essentially, the winner of UEFA Nations League D. But since it is the bottom league, teams that finish in last cannot be relegated to a lower league because this is the lowest league. So let's go through the groups. And I think this is going to be really hard to predict because the minnows, the gap in quality here between the minnows is not very vast. So let's go through. So in Group A of the UEFA Nations League D, we have Georgia, Latvia, Kazakhstan, and Andorra. In Group B is Belarus, Luxembourg, Moldova, and San Marino. C is Azerbaijan, Faroe Islands, Malta, Kosovo, and then D is Macedonia, Armenia, Liechtenstein, and Gibraltar. This is going to be really hard to pick a winner from each group because these guys are at the bottom of the barrel, so it's kind of hard to narrow it down. But I'm going to narrow it down. Instead of picking an outright winner for each group right away, I'm going to eliminate who I think will definitely not come through. So in A, we have Georgia, Latvia, Kazakhstan, and Andorra. Despite a heroic result for Andorra earlier last year against Hungary, I don't think they're going to go through this group. Um, in B, Belarus, Luxembourg, Moldova, San Marino. I think we can eliminate San Marino. This group is hard. This group, I think any of the four teams can go through: Azerbaijan, Faroe Islands, Malta, and Kosovo. But in D, between Macedonia, Armenia, Liechtenstein, and Gibraltar, I think it's going to be between Macedonia and Armenia. So I think these two teams will go out. Going back to A, Georgia, Latvia, and Kazakhstan. Latvia, the only one that has ever participated in an international tournament, but that was a long time ago. And I do think they're the worst of the Balkans, no, of the Baltic nations, against maybe the best Caucasus Mountain team in Georgia. Kazakhstan is also not a pleasant venue to play against. That's a really long jet lag travel time. A lot of even the best teams in Europe do not enjoy having to go all the way to Kazakhstan to play. I just don't know about their quality being enough here. And I would say I would eliminate Kazakhstan. And I think I'll get rid of Latvia. So I think Georgia will win Group A. Belarus, Luxembourg, and Moldova. See, this is hard because these teams are not very good. I would get rid of Moldova. And Belarus should win this group, but I'm going to go with Luxembourg. I think Luxembourg have been improved as a minnow in recent years, especially in 2017 when they got a famous result against France, a 0-0 draw. Almost beat France, and this was on the road. I'm going with Luxembourg to win this. They've gotten results against the really big teams in the past. I think they win Group B ahead of Belarus. This group is harder. I will eliminate Kosovo and Malta. I think it's just one tournament too soon. And between Azerbaijan and the Faroe Islands, this is, oh, man, that's hard. Same with Macedonia and Armenia. That's really hard. The Faroe Islands are probably the most improved Nordic nation in the last year or so. Iceland is the most improved in the last decade, but in the last year or so, you have the Faroe Islands getting famous results against teams like Greece. But Azerbaijan is also a tough team from the Caucasus region. They're no joke either. Uh, who would I go with here? I'm going with Azerbaijan to just about barely nick it out. Macedonia, Armenia. This is going to be another close one. I think I'm going to give it to. I'm going to give it to the Balkan nation. I'm going to give it to Macedonia. Just. Well, guys. I mean, this is really hard. You can make a case for pretty much any team in the entire league to win their group. I could get all four of these correct, and I could get all four of these wrong. I'm going with Macedonia. So I think this is going to be the four teams there. And then it all just depends on the draw for the semifinals. But for sake of argument, let's say it's something like this: Macedonia versus Georgia and Azerbaijan versus Luxembourg. In this case, across two legs, I think I'd have Macedonia go through, with Pandev being the difference. I think Macedonia, they're probably the weakest of the former Yugoslav nations, but they are also, at the youth level, they're pretty decent. And I think, in recent years, they've been kind of on the up. They've been threatening to break through. I think Macedonia. And then, well, I think I'd put Azerbaijan. Might as well go ahead and predict the third place thing. Georgia would win over Luxembourg. So Luxembourg fourth, Georgia third. So one of these two teams is going to get a spot in Euro 2020, according to my predictions. It's either going to be Azerbaijan or Macedonia. I got a feeling it's going to be Macedonia. I got a feeling. It's time for them as a Balkan nation to finally make their debut in a major international tournament. That region has produced so much talent over the last few decades that it's kind of a crime that Macedonia have not qualified for a major tournament. I think we'll do it here. I think Macedonia will win UEFA Nations League D for the 2018-2019 season, and they will qualify for Euro 2020. Azerbaijan second, Georgia third, Luxembourg fourth. So leave a comment below, like, subscribe. Which team from League D do you think is going to qualify for Euro 2020? See you later today, hopefully, God willing. Have a good one. Much love and peace.